Ei oo. Hyvää iltaa ihmisille. Tervetuloa seuraamaan Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havocia. Wuhuu! Lonkeraha tulee Kopperille. Tervetuloa Striimiin. Heti Kopper ravistelemassa täällä ihmisiä. Danganronpa on nappaan. Ne ittekin solmuu. Laukeraha tulee myöskin kiitoksia Olvista. Joku nimeltä mainitsematon kopperoinen on mennyt meikäläistä mainostelemaan. Hyi. Ei saa. Viimeksi me oltiin kolmoschapterissa tekemässä juttuja ja kaikkea tapahtuikin ja tilanne on lähtenyt aivan käsistä. Ja tätä chapter 13 tarkoitus tänään vähän kirja. Siihen pisteeseen, että mulla olisi sitten seuraavassa striimissä tarkoituksena vetää se Class Trial läpi. Että katsotaan kuin tässä nyt käy. Majavalle myöskin moro, tervetuloa striimiin. Nyt mä refreshaan tän. Vielä katon taas, ettei se vahingossakaan kesken lennon rupea pärisee tai muuten lähde henkseleistä. Katsotaas. Meidän murhatutkinta, me ollaan just murhaajan perässä itse asiassa tässä chapterissa. Me jahdattiin sitä tänne vessaan, mutta en tiedä onko se täällä vessassa. Täällähän ne kaikki murhat tapahtuu aina. Aina pitää vessassa murhata. Joko käsien pesulla tai sitten pytyillä. Elokuvat ovat kertoneet tapauksia. Jahas. Just tuolla perällä jo. Notice observing. No. Mä osoitin tonne! Come on. This is where the bathroom cleaning supplies are stored. I don't see anything useful in here. Ei ole mitään tärkeää. Tuppasin oikein hyvin sanasta sanaa. Nooroli, kiitos jäärätinästä. Tervetuloa striimiin. Tai sitten on keitokset menossa kuten Harry Potterissa. Jep. That strange cry. That had to be Celeste. It came from the floor above. She's on the third floor. I sprinted up to the third floor. Poika juoksee. Over here, everyone. Everyone who heard that scream had come running. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. He must be down this hall. Come on, let's go. What is it now? Whoa, it's really true. But that doesn't matter right now. Huh? What was that? It came from the downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. What about the suspect? We've gone to all this trouble to capture him, right? Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I'll leave the capture by the suspicious individual to Toko, Sakura, and Byakuya.
We'll handle it. Just go take care of Hifumi.
Okay, you guys be careful. With that, we split into two groups. Me, Celeste, and Hina all ran downstairs to the first floor. He's in the nurse's office. Let's go! Ja melkein juoksi ohi. Olisi pitänyt arvata, että se on pikki ovi. We stormed into the nurse's office and what greeted us was A world of dripping crimson. Oh man. Aihot. Tämähän se ois. Hifumi is dead! Everything was covered in red. No. Everything was covered in purple. Makoto, this is purple. Missä se krahnokko se, missä on nyt suuren hetken, kun Hifumi on kuollut? Oli kyllä ihana löytää mun 3 puksupäät. Joo, mä huomasin just, kun mä olin laittamassa noita striimilinkkejä, niin mä huomasin, että sä olit laittanut Discordin kuvan. Mukava, että löytyivät pitsut ja pikatsut. And in the center of all this purple was Hifumi. It looks like something very bad has happened. No, oh shit! Äijä on löyty päähän! Pää on aivan verillä ja tärviöllä. Jätkä kuoli oikeesti. I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered. Murdered? You're not serious, are you? He's not really dead, is he? Ja niin. Reksi puhuu. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. What the? That was the body discovery announcement? The body discovery announcement. When 3 or more people discover a body after a murder, that's what plays. And since we just heard it, that means... It must mean Hifumi. Someone killed him. One of us. One of us? And look at that. When Celeste said that, she pointed to something. Something on the floor. Something that had also been on the floor after the last 2 surprise attacks. The hammer time. Another hammer. Justice Hammer 3. And it's even bigger than the other 2. Just as I suspected, 1 strike from that and you are finished. MC Hammer on mestoilla. Yep. That the killer... There can be no doubt. A suspicious individual, going by what Hifumi called him, the culprit must be Robo Justice. Whoever's hiding in that costume is the one that killed Hifumi. What? Wait. You saw him on the 3rd floor, right? Running back into the hall? So, how did he end up in the nurse's office? You're not saying they, like, teleported or something, right? We can figure that part out later. Right now, we have to tell the others. You're right. Then shall we go? Hina, snap out of it. Huh? Are you okay, Hina? Sorry, I'm not sure I can move right now. I'm feeling kinda... This is a problem. We can't just leave Hina here alone. Okay then, I'll go get everyone. You stay here with Hina. Very well, I'll leave it to you then. Okay, I'll be back soon. I tried to sound confident and upbeat, but I still hadn't stopped trembling from what I'd just been through. Everyone else is already on the 3rd floor. I have to hurry. This is where everyone was chasing after the suspicious individual. Where was he headed? Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. He ran off, going further down the hallway. Way into the back of the hallway? Mä en tiedä, kuuluuko mun nyt ihan mennä tänne, mutta... Ei, mä menin suoraan taideluokkaan. Sovitaan, että siellä ei oo mitään. Suuntavaistoni nyt pettää aivan totaalisesti. Mitä hiivattiin me tehdään fysiikan labrassa? Down the hallway. Täällä raporttikokoista mitään. Calculations, ei. On se vaan miettinyt, olisiko tässä ollut toi... Mikä toi on toi? He ran off, going further down the hallway, way into the back hall. Täällä. Luen kaiken ääneen, mutta sitten itse tajua, mitä mun kuuluu tehdä. Upsies! Tuonne ei päästä. Menikö sä oikeesti tänne? Epäilen. As far as I can tell, there's nobody here. But still, I feel some kind of presence. Yeah, I'm sure I can feel someone's presence. His presence. Is it coming from over there, in the back? Uh-oh. Tuon äänen tehtävä, mitä pitää tehdä, mutta aivot eivät käsittele sitä. Just näin. Tää on just minun juttuni. I leaped through the hallway. I leaped through the doorway, a hallway. And when I did, I found another nightmare. The second nightmare of the day was waiting there to greet me. No! Bro! Hey! There, in a pool of his own blood, was Taka, dead. Takalla oli hyvä tilaisuus hahmokehityksen, mutta nope, dead. Niin Finland, tervetuloa Striimiin. Niin viimeksi hänestä tuli niin koppava ja niin kuin uudesti syntynyt ja nyt hän vaan tolleen kuolee. Mitä järkeä on antaa tuolla äijällä saijan hiukset ja punaiset palavat silmät ja sit se äijä kuolee heti seuraavaksi. Niin kuin mikä järki tässä nyt on? What a moment to join, Veiseen. Tervetuloa Striimiin. Best boy dead, yeah. I can't believe. Niin kuin sillä annettiin kaikki eväät hahmokehityksellä ja this man was wasted by the Justice Hammer. Päähän on lyöty. It was the hammer. A next generation legend, stand tall, galactic hero. Danganronpa. Hifumi's body discovered in the nurse's office. Taka's body discovered in the equipment room. I was witness to two nightmares, one right after another. No, they weren't nightmares. This is harsh reality. So it's a nightmare. The true nightmare is this reality. The reality I have to face every day. But still. Why is this happening? Tää on kyllä Chapu-pelin paras ja huono hahmokuorea. Kerralla, niin. Me menetettiin meidän, siis wow. Täälläkin on 3. ruumis. Toko? Don't tell me, Toko too? Relax, she just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right, when Toko is, Toko, she has a fear of blood, huh? We've tried everything to get her to wake up, but no luck. Just leave her be for now. It's like he said, I should just leave her alone for now.
Ei mitään reaktiota. Hammer time.
Another hammer. Now it's Justice Hammer 4, and it's even bigger than before.
Täällä oli 4. vasara, mä luulen, että näitä olisi 3. Damn. Antakaa 5 sit vielä.
Is that suspicious individual responsible for killing Taka too?
But why is it Justice Hammer 4?
Huh? What do you mean?
Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer 1. Then Hifumi was hit with Justice Hammer 2. But this time it was Justice Hammer 4. What happened to number 3?
What's the matter? Well, when you mentioned Justice Hammer 3, you just reminded me.
Out with it. Do you know something?
Actually, Taka's not the only one that's been killed. Hifumi's dead too.
Hifumi's been killed?
Yeah.
Which is why you came to get us. Then we'd better go check it out.
Of course, come on!
Mennäänkö by the way sitkin taas 100% vai mennäänkö vaan peruspeli? Mennään ihan peruspeli. Tässä tulee vielä, tulisi monta kymmentä striimiä vielä, jos pitäisi vetää 100%. Et vedetään ihan vaan peruspeli läpi.
So Sakura, Byakuya and I rushed out to the physics lab. But as soon as we were out on the physics lab... Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up.
Yeah, I heard Hifumi's dead, right?
Well, that is not all. It is gone. Huh? What's gone?
It has disappeared.
Disappeared?
Hifumi's body has been disappeared.
What?
What are you talking about? It's disappeared? Don't be ridiculous. Never stop the gacha madness, yeah. Tässä täytyy päästä muita pelejäkin pelaamaan elämässä, niin en jää 100%, ellei siinä ole jotain todella henkilökohtaista takana.
Are you serious?
What the heck is happening here? Everyone, back to the nurse's office!
I practically leaped down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath.
Kuka tällä leikki taikkureja piilottaa ruumiita? Kuka on tällaisen Harry Houdini?
I couldn't believe my eyes. Hifumi's body was there just a few minutes earlier. It just disappeared. Me and Celeste went to the bathroom, but we were only gone for like a minute. And then when we got back...
This must be the work of the culprit. They must have come and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys did. I don't believe this. I don't believe a body would just disappear. First there were 2 murders and now one of the bodies has been taken. This is unnatural.
Hold on, what do you mean 2 murders?
Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
It can't be! Taka too? It can't be. It can't be. No!
Hina, calm down.
We're all gonna die. All of us. They're gonna kill all of us.
Then who might the next target be, Toko?
Huh?
I completely forget. She's still unconscious in the equipment room.
You left her at the scene of the crime? We didn't have a choice. She passed out, she refused to wake up. Vittu toi Byakuya ilme. Niinku äijän virnu, jätettiin 1 makaamaan tonne ja potentiaalisesti 3. kuolonuhri. Togami, mitä helkkaria? Äijä vaan virnuja täällä. So she's still unconscious?
Wait, so you knew she was still up there and said nothing? Why?
That annoying little insect that clings to me whenever I go. We're better off without her.
You bastard! You goddamn son of a bitch!
Calm down. You forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me.
Everyone stop fighting! Right now we need to hurry back!
I can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die.
Byakuya, if something's happened to Toko, I'll never forgive you.
Missä on Hagakure? By the way.
We shot out the nurse office and bolted up the stairs, heading back to the 3rd floor. We ran back to the equipment room at full speed. And when we got there... Toko! Thank God you're okay. But right away I noticed there was something very different here. He was gone. Taka's body, which should have been right there, had disappeared.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
No, it's not a hallucination. I know I saw it before. And what I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before.
Joku raahannut sen pois järjestöpäätyllä. Yeah, näyttää kyllä siltä. Tässä on nyt jotain. Me ei ole nähty Hagakurea missään. Jotain nyt outoa on tekeillä.
What? Are you saying Taka disappeared too?
Stop saying disappeared. It didn't just vanish into the thin air. Obviously whoever did this has hidden the body.
But why would they do that?
I couldn't possibly begin to imagine.
Anyway, our costumed suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree. We gotta hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us!
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Huh?
Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these dead bodies? When Hifumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together on the 3rd floor. After that, we split into 2 groups. And now this time, you all came here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only ones who could have done this are Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing. Niin Kyokokin puuttuu, by the way.
Hold on a second! Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was in the dining hall with us.
You seem very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you're in love?
Is it the love that I'm detecting in a video game?
Oh, there's love. Love is in the air.
That's not it at all!
Well, anyway, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi. Which means the suspicious individual we're looking for can be none other than Hiro. Which further means there will be no more murders. The regulations are very clear about that.
Oh, that's right. There's a rule that says you can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
As long as that rule is in place, there will not be a 3rd murder. If they were to break that rule.
Means ya without a second thought. Means ya, grind ya, turn ya into paste. By the way, did you know that the fish paste can also refer to shellfish, like shrimp or crabs?
Indeed.
So since 2 people have been killed, there's no possibility of any more.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger.
I still meant it when I said we'd be better off without her, though. Anyway, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the 2 missing bodies.
The 2 missing bodies. 2 people have been killed and their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it, is Hiro. But is he really the killer? And what about Kyoko? If she's not involved in this case, where did she go?
Hey Makoto, what's the matter? Huh? Oh no, it's nothing.
Whatever, we need to find those bodies or our little narrative here can't move forward.
それでは
Very well, then let us split up and begin searching.
でも
But there's no need to be afraid. No more murders will take place during this case.
だって
I know that. I mean, I think I do, but...
If you're still nervous, I'll come with you.
Okay, thank you.
No need to thank me. Then let's get moving. Yell out if you find anything.
Byakyo left the equipment room, followed by the others. I have to try and find the two missing bodies.
Jaahas, minne ne ovat karanneet? Kuka on vienyt meidän ruumiit? Tällä kertaa oli pikkasen fiksumpi, otin vedet mukiin, koska on pyörästä ja ärsyttävää saada mikrofoniin pullon ryystämisääniä. Ei ollut tuolla hauskaa. Nyt on mukiin vettä. Miten musta tuntuu, että meidän pitää mennä sinne Nurse Officeen taas? Miten musta tuntuu, että mun pitää mennä sinne? Terkkarille. Verkkarille. Mut sit piti mennä 3. kerrokseen. Siellä oli se Nurse's Office. Ai se on täällä. Disperse Squadron. No sentään oli hyvä piirustustaululla. Mitä tuo lukee? Getting tired of this. Tuo on kyllä toi draw me like one of your French girls.
Makoto,
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository.
oh, you mean...
ええ
I found them. Hifumi and Taka's bodies had both been hidden in the repository.
じゃあな
I've already told Hina and Sakura we'll go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? Repositorissa. Toi on repositori. Osaatko suomentaa, että miten repositori tarkoittaa, mutta... Varastohuone. Taideluokasta pääsee sinne. Koska toinen vaihtoehto on se, että mennään takas sinne labraan. Täällähän se on.
Are the bodies here somewhere?
Heti oven takaa varmaan.
Up here is the repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. Then I have no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door, and when I entered, I saw
The bodies again. Mutta tällä kertaa feet Byakuya. The two bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I had heard the announcement for a second time. Seuraa kuulutus. Reksi puhuu. Jälleen.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. And so here we are. Monokuma file. Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. Boop, boop, boop. I was going to hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Just hand it over already.
Now make sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial. Matane!
Samara. Well then, now that we found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit. Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know. Dead. Gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body. Who would do this? Why? Why? Large, wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this were some world of make-me-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. Aww. Tää on leffaa, se heräs! This wasn't... He's alive again!
Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Winter is coming! Hifumi Amano, winter is coming! Talvi tulee. Ei tule. Kevät on käsillä.
Hifumi, wake up! That's right. I remember now. Hope speak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything. Before I met you all. Met you all.
His memories and all are blending together. He has nothing useful to offer to us.
The light. It's reaching out to me. Like the tail of a comet.
No sain nukuttua sen kopperin piirustuksen ohi. Kyllä näin sen sijasta jotain muuta pelottavaa. Mutta jaadaa, tervetuloa Striimiin. Voi ei. Oliko niin pelottavat piirrokset? Se oli mun mielestä pelottava hyvä. Morjesta Tete, tervetuloa Striimiin. Mä kävin vähän lurkkailemaan sitä, mitä sä pelasit Overwatch 2. Mä menin vähän lurkille. Katsoin, mitä siellä puuhataan.
Hey Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Killed me. That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Joo, tuli vedetty eka webcam-striimin aikaa. Nonni. Toivottavasti oli huisi jännää painoa webkameralla niin sanotusti ladulle. Niin kutsutusti. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute undeniable death. Hifumi Yamada on nyt virallisesti kuollut. Rest in pieces. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality. You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins? No calcium in your bones? At least you have your meat. You are just angry. Going out his way to return just leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said, Yasuhiro, right? Yasuhiro Hagakure. This is the only person he could have been referring to. And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. And then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is? If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends! Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble. Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this. To make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it! Investigate. First, I'd better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death was each blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it? Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should now know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while.
You talking about Kyoko?
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But if the killer wasn't acting alone, what if they had an accomplice?
An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here? Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question? You were talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial? Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened? So you ask, and so shall I answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate. So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
So basically, you can become an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So you're saying nobody worked together this time either?
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder. Only one platinum can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing!
つまり
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal. Okay, let's take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is the one the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened? So just one person? That's enough for explaining. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. Motto. So there can only be one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true then, Kyoko, where are you?
されど
As long as she's not connected to this case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But before the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information. You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone as a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack.
Ah, I'm offended.
Huh? You, when did you?
I've been looking all over for you, Master.
When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found.
Anyway, you dare milk sack swimmer girl?
Milk sack?
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
So what, I'm like a special guest suspect every time?
I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about. On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina?
Sure. I'd be totally useless with the investigation anyway.
決まりだ
Then that's that. Let's begin.
This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe just me. But I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems.
Monokuma Fall Tree has been added to the True Bullet section of your handbook. Oho. Kuolleita on 2 ja tekemistä riittää. Saa nähdä kuinka paljon tässä murhatutkinnassa sit loppujen lopuksi menee sit aikaa, koska mä en aio jatkaa siihen pisteestä eteenpäin, kun se Clash Trial alkaa, koska mä säästän se toiseen kertaan. Vaikka pystyttäis helpostikin tänä iltana vetämään sit chatteri loppuun, niin minulla ei riitä tälle päivälle motivaatio vetää chatteria loppuun. Koska mä tiedän, että siinä tulee menemään enemmän kuin tunti siinä Clash Trialissa, ottaa huomioon, kun edellinen vei siis yli 2 tuntia. Meni toi viimeisin Clash Triali. Se oli ihan tarpeeksi ihmisen tekemistä. Uppista keikkaa. Se on nyt ollut erittäin kiva, että näitä Saakelin spoilaavia japanilaisia ei ole tullut näihin lähetyksiin, thank god, koska niitä ei kaivata. Ne vois hankkia elämän, jos niillä on aikaa tulla tänne pilaamaan toisten ensimmäisiä läpipeluita. Heti kun mä otin pois sen first time playingin, niin sit ei oo tullut enää. Että mä oon tehnyt nyt jotain oikein. Että jotain minä olen oikein tehnyt. Noin. Sitten ruvetaan taas tutkimaan hienoa taidetta takahuoneessa.
There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets.
Trouble with the dolly, eh?
Could the Justice hammers be designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait, for some reason, this one hammers isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently?
Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Märkä vasara.
Kuka laittaa märkiä vasaroita seinälle? Sitten toinen kysymys, missä vasara on märkä.
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. And we came right to the repository to, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I probably have to leave this area to figure it out.
Ennen pitkää joudumme tutkimaan jotain muuta. Tämä kerro.
It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move the statues around. It's kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that?
Repository dolly has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Sieltä se niin Finland oikein tarkoittikin, että trouble with the dolly. Täällä on dollin kanssa liikuttu. Elkkari. Sieltä saa raheita.
There are many suspects after this incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. Would you like my help?
Yeah, let's look back on things.
This morning, only 4 of us meet up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko disappeared.
After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room, on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me.
According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her. Meaning just after 7 o'clock.
Hey, Havoc. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. He was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. Found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office.
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor, and we were split up and began searching. Then right after that,
Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
And then...
At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on up to the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which was also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. Which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Cause I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. Then that's when I
showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who had just arrived to tell us something very unusual.
Hifumi's body was disappeared.
We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that this corpse was in fact gone.
Then we remembered that we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room.
This time Taka's body has disappeared. So from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us
she found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
And then we discovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime.
Okei, saatiin kunnon rekäppiä, mitä on tapahtunut. Sitten nää potit.
Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved.
Blue tarp has been added to the troop section of the handbook. Estas sentään. Kamalat megahaukutukset. Mä tuossa just puhdistin ruokaa tuossa ennen. Tai oikeastaan jo 6 aikaa, sen takia mä sitä striimiin myöhästytinkin. Mut herranen aika. Ruokalepoa ei olisi kannattanut pitää. Se tekee nyt nimittäin nyt tehtäväänsä ihmiseen.
Hifumi's big, cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body.
Iso ruumis. Iso ruumis, kyllä se täytyy korostaa.
I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office, where he was discovered, to here, the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's so good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head.
Ikävä, että hän noi kyyneleet on vieläkin hänen kasvoillaan.
Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's up about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it. His glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why?
Hifumi's glasses had been added to the true bullet section of her handbook. Sitten herra Byakuya itse.
Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it?
I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and all disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died,
yeah, he said Hiro's name.
つまり
then there's no room to suspect anyone else.
Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume?
Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he would be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see.
I mean, he is kinda dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
なんだ
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case?
Well, no. There are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies?
They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation.
But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we?
Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron.
Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people?
何
What?
Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number 1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
なるほど
Hold on, perhaps. I see, so that's what that means.
Is everything okay?
やめろ
Don't talk to me as we are friends.
Huh? What's with the attitude?
But you have my appreciation.
じゃあな
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all.
His mysterious words hang into the air as he left the repository. Talked as if he'd figure out something. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell what it was?
Ei, kyllä se tappaa piakoja sisäisesti, jos se joutuu tunnustaa jotain, että se on väärässä. Tai että se ei ole ajatellut tarpeeksi asiaa. Oppista keikkaa. Mistäs sitä? No niin, ihan hyvin ensimmäinen tunti on tässä vierähtänyt tässä tutkimusprosessissa, niin ihan hyvin olen taktikoinut. Musta tuntuu, että täällä ei ole nyt mitään enempää. Siis aika mun tietääkseni.
There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from the inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder... Ina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone... Repository door has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. And there are some places I already know about. First the nurse's office, where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room, where Taka was found.
Okei, elikkä Nurse's Office ja Equipment Room. Ja mennään sinne sitten. Kun on montaasi. En tiedä, että onko tää nyt yhdellistä murhatutkintamusiikkia, mutta pakko rakastaa tätä jazzia. Täällähän odottaa meidän murhaaja.
I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event!
Mä et missannut mitään.
Huh? This tarp? I feel like I've seen it somewhere before and just recently too.
Kolikeito. Totta kai veriläikkä.
There's some kind of tire marking through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the third floor, so that should definitely have been possible.
Equipment room bloodstain has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the first floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get up into the third floor. That's still a total mystery.
Mysteeri migiten.
Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved but the murder weapon was just left there.
Vai jätettiin tänne tää Dabbo-väline? Telkkarissa ei tapahdu koskaan mitään hyvää.
ton Nurse Officen. Missä pitää seuraavaksi käydä kääntyys. Olisin ollut siistiä pakittanut tonne rappusille. Ihan onnellu. Ei kun... Mä just tulin tän. First floor. Ensimmäinen kerros Aska. Ystävällisesti mene sinne. Ihmiset joka teki vettä, mä oon juonut tässä samaan aikaan.
Nyt me saamme vettä.
Pysytte nesteytettynä jännittävän murhatutkinnan aikana. Tää on voimia vievää puuhaa. Tää murhatutkinta. Keneen keuhkot on tuolla seinällä?
Why are you investigating? Like, why are you investigating? What are you investigating, Celeste?
I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if Hero might be hiding somewhere. What about you?
Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
How Hifumi was moved, eh?
When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
そうですわね。
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom.
And when you got back, the body was gone?
He could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though.
Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that sort of amount of time?
ええ。
It would seem so.
To carry off someone as big as Hifumi is in a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible.
Celeste's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Näes muuta. Anteeksi, mitä siellä takana oli, mikä oli tutkimisen arvosta? Sehän on roskis. Dyykkari.
It's just a normal trash can. Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. But it's also covered in blood.
Ah, did you find something? Ei oo, oli jo luukkailussa, mä nyt keräsin energiaa chattia. Mites on Aska chatin päälle mennyt? Shaku, tervetuloa streamiin. Mitenkäs tässä? Mä en nukkunut yöllä hyvin, mä rupesin yhtäkkiä kuiva yskärin takia yskimään kesken yön, ja aivan kammottavaa. Muuten mä oon vaan löhöillyt koneella ja odottanut hetkeä, että pääsee striimaamaan, ja mä oon tehnyt hyvää ruokaa. That's all I have done. Jos saatan harkita Danganronpan jälkeen astuvani yölliselle iltakävelylle vielä, että saa vähän happea tänään, koska en ehtinyt ulos asti tänään. En ehtinyt ulos asti tänään. Herran aikaa. Ja muutenkin on vähän väsyttä, että mahdanko edes jaksaa edes uloskaan poistua. Mitäs Shakuun viikonloppuja kautta TSN on mennyt? Täällä ollaan tutkimassa 2 oppilaan murhaa. 2 tyyppiä on tapettu ja pitää tutkia 2 kappaleen. Että kukaan nämä meidän jätkät on tappanut? Who killed them? Voisiko musta hakea lisää vettä, jos mä kerkiä ryystämään tämän kaiken. Tätä vettä olisi vielä jäljellä, jos meidän pitäisi sitä suoraan pullosta. Mukista on helpompi juoda. tulee paljon vähemmän ylimääräistä mekkalaa. Mikrofoni.
Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe some blood. But who would need to do something like that?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important.
Tulee just sopivaa, kun Shakku pistää viestiä ja sit tuolta roskiksesta löytyy just tommonen almost Shakun hiustyyliset hiukset omaava tuommoinen anime-tyty löytyy tuolta. Tuo rätti löytyy roskiksesta. Hyvin sopivaan kohtaan. Totta. Kun on selkeä tulille, pus pois, kuiva yskä. Itse taas on paljon aivastelua, josta en tiedä johtuuko nyt sit mitään allergiaa, kun joka päivä ei aivastella toinen päivä tässäkin koko ajan. Nyt on kyllä tää siitepölykausi lähtenyt hurjasti käyntiin. Mä epäilen, että johtuu varmaankaan siitäkin. Mut mun pahin allergiakausi on vasta niin kuin toukokuu, kesäkuun alkupäässä. Minä oon tämmönen heinäkoivuallergikko, niin mä edes koivuallerginen. Kyllä se on nyt joku muu. Joku muu puu se nyt oli. Mut joka tapauksessa tulee kohta ajat, jolloin minäkin niiskuttelen koko kevään.
Glasses cleaning cloth.
Täällä pyyhtää lasit. Huppista keikko. Mun piti tänään vielä syödä mun perinteinen Mignoni, mutta mä söin niin tuhdista, että mä en varmaan jaksa syödä sitä. Jos se huomenna. Kuitenkin syö sen heti streamin jälkeen. Mä se tuonne pihalle ja syö. The Joshua Williams camera doesn't matter. Sillä ei ole väliä. Jääkaap. Todennäköisesti joo. Ehkä kun muutin tänne uuteen paikkaan, niin täällä on joku puu, jolle on herkkä. En kyllä tiedä mikä. Aina ne joku puu jossain nurkassa. Ne on hyvä ruokaa parempi. Näin on. Kyllä perinteiset pääsiäispiperöt oli pakko pyöräyttää taas. Tehtiin siis veljen kanssa lohkoperunoita ja sitten ei tehty siis itse, vaan pistettiin lohkoperunat airfryeriin ja sitten pannulle pistettiin tankoparsat pekoneihin käärittynä. Niitä nautiskellen. Naminavi. Ja parsaa jäi ylikin kaiken lisäksi, niin sitä pääsee huomenna käyttämään taas uuden ruoanlaidon kanssa.
A refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally patched. Maybe just a quick peek.
Koivingen lepän siitä pelon ilmassa. No sit se taitaa olla toi leppä, mikä varmaan aiheuttaa ainakin itellä sen, että rupeaa silmät pianimman perkalaasti. Airfryerin oikein. Vitsi, kuulostaa hyvältä nuo muonat. Alkaa kuolevanut tässä jo. Oi ei. Ei ole tarkoitus aiheuttaa nälkää. Mut siis mä laitoin lohkoperunat ekaa kertaa itse asiassa airfryeriin. Muuten mä olin sinne vaan ranskalaisen laittanut, mutta sinne laitettiin tällä kertaa lohkoperunat. Ja niistä tuli oikein rapsakoita. En kyllä laita enää yhtään mitään ranskan perunaa kautta lohkoperunaa enää uuniin. Se on varma. Se on muuten ihan varma. Ne menee airfryeriin. Ne tulee helposti valmiiksi 18 minuutissa ja 200 seitä. Hyvä sapusko.
There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions, I guess. Doesn't help me though. I'm not a vampire.
Ja se veri ei ole punaista, se on purple. Ei ole punainen tämä. Makoto on levittänyt väärää tietoa tänään striimissä, että punaista on verta, mutta kun veri on tässä pelissä purple.
Justice Hammer 3. The one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind.
Joku on jättänyt aseen. Ja toi telkkari on täysin turha.
So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have?
I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? Remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
決まりだ
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. It's a trap! What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
じゃあな
Goodbye. Ja asuu Hiron viesti. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? The trap. Se odottaa ansa. Eiku toi on toi epätoivohotelli, ei mennä sinne. Ui, ei mennä sinne. Ehtikö Saakku muuten vilkaisemaan Epin 3. episodin meidän eeppisestä Phasmocollabista? Se on saanut rutkasti positiivista palautetta ihmisiltä. Tai emme nyt tiedä rutkasti, se tarkoittaa 3 ihmistä. Loksu tykkäsi siitä, mitä hän sai. Aamu piti sanoa siitä, joo, ehdis ihan vahti, oi kiitos. Thank you. Mä olen tosi tyytyväinen siihen lopputulokseen. Mä pistin kaiken pelin siihen ja... Siis tein ihan perusteellisesti kaiken silleen, Loksu sai mitä ansaitsi. Ai että, Loksu onnistui toimillaan huudattamaan meitä kaikkia 3 ja huudattiin hänen nimeään ja niin äänekkäästi koko striimussa, että hän on jossain onnistunut, niin hän sai myöskin sitten oikein hassun rangaistuksen. Koko siihen prosessiin itse asiassa meni, jos koko aika mitä siihen yhteen kohtaukseen piti käyttää, niin siihen meni joku... mitäs siihen nyt meni? Joku 3 tuntia varmaan yhteensä. Kun se piti ensin tehdä siihen Smashiin liittyen kaikki jutut, se piti nauhoittaa, ja siihen piti kaikki editoinnit tehdä päälle niin, että se kaikki tapahtui mallikkaasti. Sitten kaikki SFX:t piti lisää siihen, ja sitten mä kaiken lisäksi itse duppasin siihen päälle. Että kaikki piti tehdä, ja mä sanoin, että helkkari hyvä. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Loksu, tervetuloa striimiin. Ihanaa kun jaksoit panostaa noihin kaikkiin, sain niin hyvät narit ja piristystä. Ai että, voi jee. Herranen aika, Loksu on tullut paikalle heti kun hänet mainitaan. Mä toivon Loksu, että sä tykkäsit siitä, mitä minä silloin järjestin. Toivon, että pidin. Mä itse asiassa yritin kysyä sulta eilisessä striimissä jo, että tykkäsit sä siitä, mutta nyt mä kysyin uudestaan. Ei mitään, mukavaa, että piristin teitä kaikkea. Ja kiitos teille kaikille myöskin siitä, että ylipäätään peukutitte niitä koosteita. Kiitos paljon. Merkkaa tosi paljon. Mä editoin siis koko tämän koostehommelin siis 6 päivään. Totta kai siihen ensimmäiseen osaan meni paljon enemmän aikaa, koska mä olin editoinut sitä jo valmiiksi. Mut sit mä heti kun pääsin viikonlopun viettoon viime viikolla, mä pääsin vasta sen jälkeen editoimaan sen loppuun se ekan. Ja sitten 6 päivässä mä pörätän nää 2. Että olit niin speed, yeah. Siihen valitaan vaan se, että mun pitää tulla yliopistolle opiskelemaan ja that's it. Jos mä oon tuolla koulussa opettamassa, niin en mä ehdi. Mun koko aika menee tuntien valmistoon ja kaikkiin muihin juttuihin, mutta heti kun päästetään Arskan yliopistoon, niin heti hän kimppuun. Ja hän editoi teille 3 koostetta 6 päivään. Damn son. Oli hauskaa editoida, mikäs siinä? Myönnän, että hymyilin ääneen. Hyvää työtä, kiitos. Mukava, että pidit. Fuukikselta terveisiä, että haluan, että teen lisää tämmöisiä hulluja settejä, mutta
Täytyy katsoa, koska minä keksin taas vetää Smash Bros. Rangaistuksen. Oliko se nyt tämä luokka? Ei. Ei kun poistumistie. Aton tämä, juu, ei me tänne mennä. Ei vielä. En mä valmis. Olisiko te headshot? Gotta edit fast. Kyllä, mä editoin nopeasti, mutta yleensä silloin jos editoin nopeasti, niin se yleensä tarkoittaa sitä, että on hutiloidut ne videot, mutta let me get this straight. Näihin, vaikka nämä videot tuli 6 päivässä, mä en hutiloinut näiden kanssa yhtään. Mä näen aina paljon vaivaa kaikkea, mitä mä editoin tänä päivänä, varsinkin striimikoosteista. Vaikka ihmisten mielestä ne tulisikin tosi nopeasti ulos, niin mä editoin semi-äkkiä. Jos mulla oikeesti on joku juttu, mitä mä haluan siihen sisällyttää, niin I'll freaking do it. Ja mä olen kuitenkin suurimman osan nyt elämästäni editoinut siis. Mä puhutaan nyt yli melkein 10 vuotta editoinut videoita, niin yeah. I can say with experience, että multa nyt luontevasti varmaan tuleekin asioita vähän nopeasti ulos, mutta se ei tarkoita sitä, että se on hutiloitu millään lailla. Olit nopea ja tehokas. Tämähän se ois. Ja musta on aina kiva haastaa itteeni välillä editoinnissa siis, että niinku en mä tiedä, musta se oli tosi kiva siis se idea, mitä mä pyörittelin Loksun varalle, niin siihen niinkun mä pääsin miettimään, että okei, mikäs rangaistus tähän nyt vois laittaa, niin mä keksin ton ja sit mä toteutin sen. Ja vaikka se niinku vaikutti yhdessä vaiheessa silleen hankalalta, siis ainoa hankalin kohta, mikä siinä oli siinä varsinaisessa editointivaiheessa siinä toteutuksessa, oli se loppukohtaus, koska siihen piti löytää yksi sopiva SFX, mutta mä en löytänyt sitä hyvänlaatuisena. Niin mä löysin sen low quality version, mä käytin sitä, ja mun olisi pitänyt varmuuden vuoksi ottaa pelin kaikki voice lineit ja pelimusiikit pois siitä nauhoitusvuorokesta, jolloin mä olisin päässyt tästä paljon helpommalla. Mutta koska mä en tehnyt niin mun piti etsiä se SFX, mä löysin sen low quality version, laitoin siihen ja sitten mä duppasin siihen päälle. Eli ensi kerran mun täytyy muistaa se, että mä otan pelin omat musiikit pois ja kaikki voice lineit, mutta SFXt jätän. Mun täytyy muistaa tää ensi kerralla. Olis muuten päästä paljon nopeammin siitä editoinnista. Mut en mä siinä kohdassa sit tajunnut. En minä siinä kohdassa tajunnut, mutta teinpähän kaiken itse ja lopputulos oli lopulta ihan hyvä. Tietenkin aina mä oon vaan silleen, että voisi editoida paremmin, mutta I did the best. Tulee harvoin mieleisin tallenne, että jep. Mut onnenottomuudessa siitä tuli superhyvää jälkeä ja nyt kun tekin kertaa olette tykännyt siitä niin paljon, niin mä oon moksiskaan. Pikkuvikko, ja se on vaan se editorin nipottaminen. Mä olisin voinut ehkä tuon kohdan tehdä vähän paremmin tai jotain vastaavaa, mutta en ole mikään urpoliitikko, en osaa tehdä supermassiivisia editointeja. Minkä takia mä nyt jostain kumman syystä pääsin sinne ekaan kerrokseen? Missä on ykköskerros? Miksi mä en pääse pois? Why can't I get out? Kaikki tiet vievät monokumman luokse. Pitäis mun nyt mennä tästä läpi itse? No voi juman kautta. Kun se Disper Hotel oli nimenomaan meidän asumuspaikka. Ei oska. Unbelievable. Siis tämä sama homma kuin taiteilussa ja muussa, että itse aina huomaa ja ajattelen, mitä olisi voinut parantaa, kun taas muuta silleen bogie upeaa. Yeah. Se on aina sen tekijän silmissä, se on vähän silleen, vähän enemmän kriittisempää, mutta loppujen lopuksi näillä videoilla on tarkoitus viihdyttää teitä, ei vaan itseäni. Mä pidän editoinnista tosi paljon. Se on mulla stressi lievittämistä, se, että mä pääsen editoimaan jotain. Mä lievitän siis stressiä, uskokaa pois. Se on mun metodi lievittää stressiä. Niin se, että porukka oikeesti antaa näin paljon hehkutusta tommoselle, niin se oikeesti lämmittää sydäntä.
Ja sillä on oikeesti nyt isompi miininki, että mä edelleen yli 10 vuotta oon jatkanut editointia ja porukat silti tykkää siitä, mitä mä teen. Vaikka ikä ja touhuamista on ollut takana jo niinkin monta vuotta. Herranen aika, siis tässä on niinku 2 kuukauden päästä 11 vuotta on paukutettu sitä kontsaa nettiin. 11. Vasta me oli 10 ja nyt mennään 11. Voi kuka ihmiset sieltä 11 kohdalla, mä uskotaan, että silloin on löydetty uutta hypeää virtaa. En puhu siitä sen enempää. Sanotaan nyt vaikka niin, että keväällä puhaltaa muutoksen tuulia. Yasuhiro, ovi auki. Sua epäillään murhasta, 2 pojan murhasta.
The door is unlocked? I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge.
Sisään. Wow.
This is Hiro's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in there. Where did he even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right?
Paukutetaan kontsaa. Yeah. Just tohon tapaa Arska tulee paukuttamaan. Mä tykkään tosta picture-aluksesta. 8-bit Riz. Mikä hito Riz? Mä oon kuullut ton Riz-termin niin monta kertaa, mutta mä en oo perillä näistä nykypäivän sanonnoista. Mä olen aika ajastani jäljessä, tämmönen boomeri. Mä olen ajastani jälkessä, kun mä joudun googlaa näiden jotain nykynuorison sanastoa. Mä en pysy perässä enää.
Ei mun ikäinen.
Yhdelle karismasta Riz. Voi kukaan, mulla ei mitään karismaa, mulla on pelkkä. Mä olen hyinen ihmispersona. Se oli joke. No saatan pitää kylmästä ja lumesta ja jäästä pidän asioina, mutta koko ihminen on täyttä kultaa ja palaa kirkkaampana kuin suurin semmonen juhannuskokko. Ritsarsk. Ei! Ei Ritsarskaa. Ei saa. Ei semmoista. Pidyn itekin. Mulla oli sellainen väliä haju, mitä tarkoittaa, mutta en osannut kyseessä selittää. Ei Ritsarskaa. Ei kai. Tai no en mä tiedä, jos jotkut ajattelee sillä, että on Ritsarskaa ihan semmonen Ritsarskaa. Mun pitää pistää toi mun lempinimi ylös, kun jos mä olisin ollut lisko-mies, niin mä olisin ollut Litsarska, eli Lizardska. Mut jos mä oon tuliarska, niin sit mä oon Blitzarska. TZ, Blizzarska. Niinku Flare Blitz, Blitzarska. Nyt on vielä Ritsarska. Loksahdukset on taas kulta-aikää. No en minäkään. Tää on ihan mahtavia. Ai että. Mitä täältä nyt täytyy tutkia? Muuttolaatikoita. Ensinnäkin, mitä sä on saanut kaiken ton tavaran tänne huoneeseen? Sitä mäkin mietin. Ei Naegilla ollut mitään maalistoa maisuutta, kun se tuli tänne. Jos sä olisit pizzeriassa töissä, niin olisit Pizzarska. Ei! Mut sit jos Arska on pyytämässä jotain, niin se on please Arska. Voi vittu. Apu. Kuiva yskä. Kuolema tulee. Hemmetin Pizzarska.
I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something and... Something's made out of... It looks like cardboard, plastic and plaster?
Jos olisi skitsofrenikko, niin se olisi Skitsarska. Oi ei. Kyllä näitä nyt satelee.
Is this Robo Justice?
Yeah, siinä on rakennettu kossia. Siis Yasuhiro Hakakure on kossin tekijä. Teki tommosen cosplay vaan hitsastessa hits. Hitsarska. Ei. Mitä olenkaan tehnyt? What have I done?
No ehkä tää on kosto siitä, että mä tein niin hyvää editointityötä viimeisimpään koosteeseen, että nyt tulee takaisin maksuna kaikki lempinimet. Jos saisit Treble-nimisen robokoiran isäntä, niin olisit Blizzarska. Oi kauhea. Mä haluun koiran nimen Treble ja sit mä olisin Blizzarska. Oi helvatta. Saada hommissa Saunavitarska. Ei. Saunavitarska. Ei. Oi jessus. En mä kestää. Mistä tää oikein tulee? Kaikki lempinimet, Tekeepäs nyt. Lapsiystävällinen versio, missä duppailla lastensairaalahman Blizzarska. Ei! Blizzarska. Apua. Valitettavasti ei tule YouTube-kontenttia, joka nimi on Blizzarska. Minä en tee lapsille kontenttia, minä teen vaan ikäisilleni kontenttia. Mä ois sanonut nää vaikka rangaistusta jos tullut. No, totta tuokin.
But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Robo Justice Blueprints has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Jahas. Tää löytyy Hiron vessasta.
I soundlessly checked the bathroom.
Makkaratekijä Makkarska. Come on. There's nothing in here.
It's pretty grungy though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty?
Jos pelasit pelkkiä TCG:tä, niin olisit Blizzarska. Toi oli paha. Mä pelaan Pokemon TCG:tä ja Digimon TCG:tä. Mut jos pelasin pelkkiä, niin olisin Blizzarska. Come on. All these names. Kuinka monta lempinimeä Arskalle keksitään? Askasta nimetään jokainen lempinimi annettu vaan ammatin tai tilanteen mukaan.
That's a sänky. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. Ihan normipöytä.
Siivoja Blizzarska. Ei aloita. Mä tykkään, chatti täyttyy sinisistä pupuista Big Chunguksesta.
Makoto, big news! Big news!
Toi on sit minä, kun tulee myöhemmin tänä vuonna isoja uutisia. Silloin mä huudan big news! Isoja uutisia.
Big news. What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done.
There's more big news! You mean to tell me there's more big news?
Robo Justice showed up too.
Robo Justice?
It's Hero wearing the costume. Anyway, as soon as you can head to the pool on the second floor. Do you think Hero and Kyoko would turn up at the same time? Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could.
Jos duppaisit uudestaan Arnold Schwarzeneggerin leffa, olisit Arska. Hei, Arska. I'll be back. Olen Terminaattori Iso Arska. You would have to tell me that I am Arnold, the big Arska. I'll be back.
Kyoko and...
You man, I had the worst day.
Hero?
Mikä tää asu on?
Hero?
Yeah, duh. Who else would I be? Suomen lippu. Damn, Suomen lippu nähty. Jos olisit tikanheittäjä, niin olisit Blizzarska. Helvatta. Blizzarska.
That's a good question.
Huh? What? Why do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati?
Niinku, mitä helkkaria jätkää? I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace. There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind.
I can't never mind. Never mind.
More importantly,
She says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
first of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
Oh, well, I had no idea. 1 second I was asleep. Don't even know that happened. Then I woke up, and then I was here.
Eikö Blizz ole saksa ja tarkoita salamaa ja dark tikka ja salamatikka? Damn. Se on sit se mun kutsumus, että jos mä oon joku lintu, niin mä olen salamatikka. I am the Thunderpecker. Thunderpecker Blizzarska. Thunderpecker. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you.
Well,
Blitzkrieg.
Hey, Blitzkrieg. I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help?
Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
I didn't make the stupid freaking thing.
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy, but I didn't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
I took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit.
It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off.
Here, free at last.
Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro? More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume.
Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well. In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself.
Yeah, me too.
Then it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went attacking everyone was Hiro! Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves a fair treatment.
Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around. You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know that I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me. Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a beat, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Whoa.
Ah, see, look. See how loose it is.
Damn. Original content.
I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. That's not a very nice thing to say.
Roboarska. Damn, oispa robotti.
I wish I could be a robot. Huh? I mean, it's not like I made it. I just caught up in the moment. Well, either way, now we know for sure, right?
I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume. In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you're all out of excuses.
No, see, it's cause you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces on the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good, the arms are too long, there's no way I can wear this. See, I told you it was impossible. You're absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hero's body exactly. Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same but fits them. If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence. Evidence? You claim there is another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck? Who cares? Hero's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway. Which is how we know it was him. Is it really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me? Robo Justice costume on lisätty kirjoihin. She looks like she's lost in thought. I don't think she's in the mood to talk. I'd better leave her alone. If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed, Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people? Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not! Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed... That's it! I know who did it! You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over alter ego, right? Which means alter ego and or Chihiro must have done it. I see. That's unfortunate. Huh? Unfortunate? Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong. Oh, I know. That note. Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find it out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room and then for some reason I fell asleep. The real girl probably drugged me or something. Not a chance. No, hold on, he could be onto something. There's a nurse office that have chemicals that could do that. Huh? Really? I told you, something's trying to set me up. The secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here for so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Yahoo! They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it. Well, you should buy it. Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket. Looks like I lost it. Voi joku lautajasu. Ei onnistu. Noniin. Mitä mä sanoisin, että vesi loppui? What did I tell you? Mä käyn nopeasti täyttämässä BRB.
Yippee. Sitten. Tulee vedenkaato ASMR. Neturi, tervetuloa striimiin. Eikäs Neturi? Pääsiäinen on sujunut. Täällä ollaan Yasuhironit kovasti syyttämässä Kyotaka Ishimarun ja Hifumi Yamadon murhasta. Ihan vettä.
Yeah, sure. Please, you gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly.
As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason.
Oh, what the heck? For serious?
Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins.
Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. Why did you kill them? Tell us, hero. No, it's like I said. Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke and that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me. Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you.
You have time to yell and carry on. You have time to search for your evidence, right?
Oh, you're right. I need to look for the second suin and that note.
Kävin kavereiden pääsiäisyydessä Turussa eilen ja lähdin tänä aamusta takas kotiin. Damn! Sä oot ollut kulmilla! Perhana! No täällä asti lähtenyt käymään. Vai niin? Sellaista pääsiäisen viettoa. Pääsiäisjuhlat. That sounds neat.
V, don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko, Genocide Jack to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto, do you have a second?
Huh?
I want you to help me with the investigation. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground.
Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
No.
To reject me so simply.
Jos se oli yhden päivän pitempään, niin olisi ilmoittanut. Damn! Olisi ollut kiva kyllä nähdä. Missä me nähtiin silloin viimeksi siellä Desussa? Joo. Jaa, ei taida iltakävelystä tulla mitään, siellä tihkuttaa vettä. No voihan mokomaa. Selvä. En mene sit pihalla. Mä lähden sitten loppuilon sisällä ja haisen pakalta. Blah. Desus, yeah. Siitä on 9 kuukautta. It's been 9 months. Hitto, sitäkin on kohta vuosi sitä Desusta. God damn.
Okay.
Thanks. Now then, shall we? So Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses.
Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl that's same age as me.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living. Wouldn't you agree?
How am I supposed to answer?
Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They are in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. Ja takas sinne, kertaan. Repositorioon. Niin kun meni taas ohi siitä repositorihuoneesta, kun se on täällä arttihuoneessa. Sitten oven taakse. Täällä väki odottaa. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment.
じゃあ
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
やっぱり
Heti rupesi tökkimään. The monochromophile was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more uncomfortable. Uncomfortable.
なるほどね
Makoto, I found something. You did?
ね
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did? Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Siis en minäkään varmaan muistais kaikkien niin opettajat kollegoiden, niin kuin, että mitä aksessoreja he nyt välttämättä pitää, mutta niin yli muutamien kyllä, mutta siis niin come on. Pitääkö sun, niin kuin, heidän pitäisi niin kaikista tietää kaikki, että minkälaisia juttuja pitää niin käsissään, korvissaan, onko se nenäkoroi, kolvakoroi, rannekelloa, niin kuin damn. Täällä on kyllä ollut aikaa tutkia toisia.
じゃあ
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? Niin, ja toi näyttää kellon ajan. Koska jos häntä on lyöty sillä Justice Hammerilla, niin kuolin aikaa selvillä. Ja jos tuohon luottamista, niin hän on kuollut ennen kello 6. Jos oletetaan, että toi alin viisari on 6 ylin, suurin viisari osoittaa melkein kohti 1. Eikä tossa 12. It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. Noni. Got him. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
そうよ
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken.
Hey, you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting?
Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch.
It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that! Bedtime for all the little boys and girls!
つまり
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened 6 this morning. Broken wristwatch.
でも
But that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
苗木くん
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
だって
Rigor mortis had already set in. Boys are better suited for this kind of manual labor, right? Yeah, rigor mortis. Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fists. A piece of paper?
ね
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
そうかしら
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
じゃあ
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues on his own. Ja takas scrap of paper. Siinä on kuitenkin ollut jotain raskauttavaa materiaalia siinä paperissa. Oli pakko repiä. Se murhaaja on repinyt paperi kätöisestä. The biggest problem I have right now. I can't believe Makoto said that. Biggest problem. Hifumihan on valas.
It's how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse.
Massive.
From the nurse's office where he was discovered here to the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third floor and all without anyone noticing it. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. Was most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office. But when we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that and why?
So, did you find anything? I did more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
そうよ。
Hifumi had it hidden on him.
Hidden?
ええ。
It stuffed it in his pants. Oh! So I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see.
In his pants? Wait, so you...
なんで？
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something.
I don't know what that means.
ね
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. Siis se, että otetaan papereita toisen kätöisestä, kun on rigor mortiksessa, joo, that's okay. Mut sitten, että mennään kaivelemaan toisten housuja. Nyt mentiin häiritsemään Hifumin massiivista potia. That was not okay. That was not okay. Not in the slightest. Nyt joku järki käteen. Ei hiplata toisten housuja silloin, kun he ovat kuolleet.
When I think of it, it was stuffed down his pants. It's like, it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM. Okay. Niin sit tässä käy järkeen, koska jos Hifumi on saanut tän viestin, ja sitten on saanut tää Hiro, joka on laitettu tuohon Robocop-asuun, ja Robocoppihan piti siinä sylissään sitä kuvassa sitä Hifumia, niin. Ja heidät kuitenkin sitten huumattiin tai jotain vastaavaa. Koska jos tuohon huoneeseen meni, niin se henkilö todennäköisesti on joutunut huumatuksi. Ja sitten tämä homma on lavastettu videokameralla, the case is closed. Murhaaja on tehnyt just näin. Yhdistän nyt vaan palasia yhteen tälleen, hypoteettisesti.
A note?
Luin tuon äskeisen.
それは
That sounds very familiar. That's it. It's the same thing Hiro said. He was telling us the truth.
だけど
Although,
It's not exactly the same, is it?
last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said.
I found a whole blah blah, the same words.
The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 AM. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asking to meet at 6 AM.
そうかしら。
Hold on, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it wasn't meant for him.
Huh?
それは
part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully. Why would he have been clutching that scrap paper so tightly? I have no idea. What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Note Hifumi had. While we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks onto them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there were any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right? If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role. I don't think I can understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in my mind. Jahas. Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. Boop boop boop. See you soon. It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself, and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right. Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Valasta tuli miettelyyn eilen, miten Oregonissa marraskuussa 1970 löydettiin rannalta 13 metrin ja 8 tonnin painoinen kaskelotti, ja se oli ollut siellä jo 3 päivää, niin insinöörit päätti siirtää sen palasena takaisin mereen käyttäen puoli tonnia dynamiittia. Dynamiittia siirtämään kaskelotti. Ei insinööriä tainnut olla, oli nyt kyllä kaikki hukassa. Quite literally kaikki oli hukassa. Jahas. Punainen ovi. Tiedätte mitä se tarkoittaa. Koko kööri on paikalla. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there... Hello, hello. He's multiplied? No, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already? You are not playing around along. We're not here to play with you. Okay, fine. Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the paint train, elevator. I see you guys down there. Tomorrow. Okay then, shall we? Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet. You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. I told you already, I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom. She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. Can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here.
I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes. Were you listening? Wait till we get out the courtroom to begin your arguing. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time. The story begins when we get down there. Entäs sinä, herra syytetty?
It wasn't me, you gotta believe me! Come on, Big Mac, let's do it!
Big Mac. Iso Mac. Käytti just minun terminä mäkkäri. Washington Post oli joukossa 3 vuotta sitten. Washingtonin Post. It took one last deep breath and I exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the seal box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up into a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. All because of you.
Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What? You really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me, of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. Yahoo! I'd never hold out onto you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial.
Kyllä. Haluan tallentaa pelin, koska nyt on hetkemme koettanut.
Nimittäin ensi kerralla ajattelin triaalin viimeistellä, koska tässä menee kuitenkin taas ihan tuhottoman kauan. Kuitenkin kun joutuu duppaamaan ja miettimään juttuja. Kiva, että striimat 4 tuntia junasta tänään oli rankkaa. Nyt voi vähän rentoutua. Roolipelaaja ei, tervetuloa striimiin. Mitäs mä katson ulkoilmaa niin suunnattoman surullisesti, että voiko nyt olla totta, että siellä on ruvennut just pihkuttamaan. Ei oo todellista. Ei oo todellista, se oli niin kaunista vielä pari tuntia sitten, mutta... it's all gone. Mä voisin tästä siirtyä nyt nopeasti siihen Infinite Fusioniin ainakin joksikin aikaa. Kysymysmerkki, kun mä sitä menin jo huutelemaan, että mä jatkaisin sitä. Tässä meni vaan pari tuntia. Jos me nyt saadaan joku pieni Infinite Fusioni tähän loppuun, niin se riittää. Mutta Danganronpaa mä jatkan ensi viikolla. Mä vedän tän Class Trialin läpi ja päästään 3. chapterista kokonaan, niin aloitetaan sitten 4. chapteria. Ja Danganronpaa jatkan tosiaan seuraavan kerran vasta torstaina. Ei perjantaina tällä kertaa, vaan torstaina. On etäviikko edelleen yliopistolla, niin voin striimata jonakin toisen arkipäivänä kuin perjantaina. Elikkä torstaina ajattelin jatkaa Danganronpaa eteenpäin. Silloin vedän Class Trialin loppuun. Mä vien teidät hetkeksi intermissionin, mä setuppaan Infinite Fusionin ja palataan sitten Pokemonin maailmassa asiaan nähden siis pian.